Hi everybody, welcome to the activity collecting data using math to test which flowers make the most seeds. Over the past few weeks in science, you've learned how flowers make seeds. You've also learned that flowers may have slightly different parts or slightly different arrangements of their parts. Some flowers have bright petals, others have camouflage petals, some have no petals at all. Generalist flowers try to attract many different pollinators. Specialist flowers just try to attract a few. Cluster flowers are many flowers very close together, sharing the same flower stalk. Simple flowers can be alone or close together, but each have their own flower stalk. And composite flowers have so many flowers close together that several flowers look like one, especially because they share the same petals. In this lesson, we're going to observe as many pollinators as we can as they move pollen between two different flowers. So to start off, we're going to go to the link. And this link is called Pollination in Action. And if you scroll, you'll see there's over 30 different videos of pollinators moving pollen from flower to flower. And so what we're going to do is choose a video, watch the video, and count how many times does the pollinator touch the center of the flower. If the pollinator touches the center of the flower, then we will assume that the pollen and sperm reached the stigma, went down the style to the ovary, where the sperm and the ovules mix to make seeds. If it touches the outside of the flower or a leaf or a petal or anything like that, we will assume no pollination, but if it touches the center, we're going to assume pollination occurs. So let's see. Let's just go back to the beginning. Okay, ready. 3, and it looks like I'm going to start with 1 because as I look, I can see the hummingbird is already touching 1. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted 5. So I counted 5 touches, and with those 5 touches, I'm going to go back to my data sheet. Here's my data sheet. Why can I not do anything on this data sheet? Whoops, I think I need to go somewhere else. Just a second. Back to class. Here's the activity. Add a response. And I am the sample student. So here's the data sheet. So we just saw the hummingbird on the purple cluster flower, and the number of visits that we saw was 5. So I'm going to use a dark marker that everyone can see, and I'm going to write 5. And the total time visiting was 12 seconds. And that's all I'm going to fill in for now, but just going back to the video so you can see how I knew. So it says hummingbird on purple cluster in the instructions. It says 12 seconds in the title, but also if we watch this timer up here, we can see where it goes just to make sure. And we can see it goes to 12 seconds by the end. So that's how I know it's 12 seconds. You will see a few videos that it might be a 30-second video, but the pollination is only 12 seconds, and there's a few places where I'm showing you some other really cool things. So make sure you check the timer. The timer and the title will always tell you the number of seconds that you actually were counting the pollinator. And that's it. So for the first step of our lessons, you're just doing the number of visits and the total time visiting. So this hummingbird visited 5 different flowers in 12 seconds. That's what you're going to do. And when you are done, when we call you back, press the checkbox. You always want to press that as many times as you can so you don't lose your work. And then you can always go back and edit to do the next one. So I would encourage you to press that checkbox a lot so you don't lose any of your work. And as you can see, we have about 2.5 pages that are filled in, but that's only about 10 different flowers. There's 33. So as you get going, if you actually finish all of these and get to all of them, you'll just write down the name of the pollinator, the flower from the title and whether it's a simple cluster or composite. And that's what you're going to do. We're going to be filling in these other columns. These other columns, we're going to fill them in our math class when we learn to do a few other things. But for now, today's class, we're just going to watch as many pollinator videos as we can, record the time visiting and the number of visits. That's it. Have fun.